Wagner Tehee, a lifelong friend of the family's, part of the family, and lives in Georgia now. And I'm thankful that she's with us and can share this beautiful work of art.
Well, there's something you have to understand first, and that's, I wrote it from Hawaii, and in Hawaii there's a small tree and a gourd that are both calabash. And a calabash gourd that grows on the tree was used for serving food, so it's kind of got this reputation over the years that if you want to show friendship, which is really high on their priorities, you know, and fellowship and family, that you serve from the calabash bowl. So the term calabash family, calabash cousins have come from that meaning there. So it's called the calabash family tree. Here in the laid-back islands, we show the world what they're missing. And so with warm aloha, greet uncle or auntie with hugs and kissing. Mr. and Mrs. are left behind for those who care to stay aloof. And shakas signal a friendly face, you're welcome neath any roof. And when you're close, you're ohana. And there's a special phrase you see, I komo mai, please come and sit neath the family calabash tree. But back in time, the good old days, we found some friends so dear that Mr. and Mrs. wouldn't do. And even though they're not here, Uncle Grover and Aunt Betty they came to be. Barbie, Rhonda, Kenny, and Stevie too. Though times have passed and name endings have changed, the ties have still held true. So what do I have to remember from long ago in distant days? At UCA digging tunnels to China with Kenny and Stevie to play. Living next door meant a hole developed and a leafy hedge fence in between. Then we all moved to Walla Walla, the big city move, with homes now miles between. But often we visited Sabbaths, and I wished that I could play or could sing, as Rhonda and Barbie played piano and flute, and the small house fairly did ring. Their singing in parts made me wonder why talent graced their home, not mine. But that was to change with an accordion and a bit of practicing time. Then through over the sunset mountains I stumbled, and Aunt Betty graciously accorded along. We played to our nodding audience. Okay, who deaf and nodding slept through our song. Aunt Betty became my 4th grade teacher mid-year, and not a complaint did I hear, which was rather odd, I should think, as we were too hard on the other, I fear. Must I call her Mrs. Rose? I worried. Or would the endearing name stand? But to her I was still her Jeannie, and she my Aunt Betty again. I had a sad heart when they departed. In Ecuador I thought they'd forget me. And watching the plane soar out of sight I cried, and the only solace to me was that for the first and only time I remembered, we'd gotten out of school. Whoopee! Then trying by ham radio to imagine what the garbled voices told of bathing under downspouts and ocelot babes and other adventures untold. But the years did pass and they did return, and they moved to a home on Rejoinder. With lambs we fed and critters untold, and the calabash friends back to normal. New calabash friends they added, Mariana, Lisa, Roque, and more, and welcomed in others like Harold, or whomever should come to their door. Our summer potlucks and ball games were large and quite a dandy. Grandma Rose, Riley's, Aunt Mabel and White's, Fink Biners, and whomever was handy. At our home we harvested apples together and pressed out the juice for fun. Backpacking in the Wallowas, this family of long legs made me run. Then academy years, and Uncle gave me a job, a privilege to work in the office. Writing faculty checks and balancing books really made me feel big and important. The funniest thing, and I hope you won't blush, was the night both families gathered together in a WAVA classroom to watch Uncle's Choice, a good movie, Kramer versus Kramer. Only one glitch he did not know. This was the unedited version. And to watch him squirm was both funny and sad. For a man of principle, we all knew his aversions. Or the night my policeman brother caught Grover speeding a bit on his beat, showing off his new car to my parents, who were riding in the back seat. Then Art proposed in our orchard, with cavalcade trumpets and such. Waiters and entourage crowded our home, spying silently there by the bunch. And the moment he knelt and asked her, or rather when she said, "I do," The house rocked of cheers and a chorus. A new king and queen we all knew. Years later I stood at the hospital and held tiny Ilani, their precious second-born. And I hope to see the delivery to Mom when Michael blows his archangel horn. As an SM, I went to Majuro for a year with Ken and Steve. They carried on the Rose tradition, a blessing to all and to me. There I learned to cook, sink or swim for a year, with Steve in the same position. So we cooked alternately and both survived on rice and black beans and rice, and other rice and bean compositions. And when I married, he was there to sweetly sing me to bliss, a trio of lovely voices, with Alyssa, a lovely flower miss. Then halfway around the world we went, but who came to Guam to join us? Barb and family, to bless and teach us. Our GAA faculty bell choir was hilarious. Lindy was such a joy to teach, quiet, so funny and sweet. It seemed life had come full circle. Aunt Betty my teacher, then Lindy I teach. Alas, when I had my firstborn and brought him home the first day, my parents suggested and I agreed to stop at the Rose home on the way. They oohed and awed as relatives should, and made me proud to be showing off the next slim edition of our calabash family tree. The story's not ended. There's much more life to live. We promise to keep in touch with Road to Gimby or Arizona emails or a phone call from Steve and Suzanne or such. And when I return to Walla Walla, Barb's and I go out for a woman-to-woman chat and eat, and I can't go home without visit or walk with my calabash uncle and aunt. So just what has your life taught me? Of course, to have lots of fun. That family's ever so important, but family can be anyone. To include the aged and lonely and those who are in need. To help where help is needed, in a prison or nursing home suite. That a soft, kind voice and a friendly smile and a genuine interest too go a long, long way in anyone's heart, and then they will listen to you. It must be very contagious, for all of you children have got it. And I'm privileged to be a part of your life, and I hope that I too have caught it. So congratulations, family, on 50 wonderful years. I hope your day is happy, with only joyous tears. And with this bit of poetry, I hope that you can see the joy and fun your family's been and the blessing through eternity. And when at last we're in heaven, you'll know just where to find me. Let's promise to all meet together neath the calabash family tree. Love and congrats, Jeannie. P.S. Now this is rather lengthy, but what really worries me is both sides of your family have long longevity. So if at your 100th, then please don't take this lightly. Please send a pack of writing pens or gag and bind me tightly. And then I had to add this on the end for this occasion. It says 17 more years have come and gone. Now we're standing at Dad's grave. He's awaiting the archangel to come and call his name. Then standing tall with youthful Betty, he'll search around to see for every single branch and leaf of his calabash family tree. He'll call for every grandchild, Alyssa, Alani, Brendan, Bethany, Sierra, Hannah, Taylor, Ian, Caleb, Theron, Willa, Riley. Where's Lindy, Michelle, Stephanie, and Brianne? He doesn't want to miss one. Come, Kaylee, Cammie, Christy, Carrie, Sarah, Janae, Sarah, and Destin. He calls for his extended family, all those they've taken in, and quite a crowd come trooping o'er to where this tribe begins. He then stops and grins at Betty. Oh, are there any more? For there may be little rosebuds that he's never met before. But will they find us faithful? Have we passed the torch along? Will their entire family choir sing the Redeemed One song? Can we present our families? Here's all the children you've given me. And see God smile. Well done, faithful servant. Y'all come in and live with me. Oh, that's a little southerner. Only we can answer that, but let us all agree to be faithful to our Savior now and throughout eternity. So whether we meet right here or there, the best Rose reunion will be together neath the tree of life, the real Calabash family tree.